these emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein.
House Democrats released an email written by Jeffrey Epstein in which he claims that Donald Trump, quote, knew about the girls. It's bombshell news that legal experts are calling duh.
President Trump addressed a joint session of Congress and claimed that no president has changed government faster than him. Yeah, and nobody changed airport security faster than bin Laden.
Colin Jost and Michael Che just cracked open the political absurdity vault and found Trump and Karoline Leavitt sitting on a mountain of chaos, like it's a holiday photo shoot gone wrong. What they did next wasn't a roast. It was a comedic crime scene with no survivors. If you've ever wondered what happens when two master-level comedians collide with political meltdown energy, this is it. Prepare for chaos, confusion, and comedy so sharp it whistles.
Well, President Trump traveled to the Middle East this week, and if I were him, I would have just stayed there because it looked awesome. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia where he was greeted with a lavender carpet which matched the color of his tie and also the length.
President Trump responded to a report showing the U.S. economy was declining by posting, "Be patient." And if his brain gets any worse, he's gonna be patient.
Chaos erupts the moment Colin Jost and Michael Che lock eyes on the latest mix of presidential theatrics and Karoline Leavitt flair. Treating the spectacle like a classroom project nobody asked for, but everyone wants to mock. The energy forms its own weather system. It sweeps through every screen with the elegance of a runaway shopping cart. Nothing about the situation stays calm.
I just have to say, in general, I don't really believe in conspiracies because as a member of the Illuminati, I know that we, the lizard people, control everything. And it's really hard to believe that Trump was so oblivious that he didn't notice his good friend was running an international pedophile ring. Though I guess Trump is the one guy on earth who thinks YMCA is a straight anthem.
If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Colin unleashed commentary that moves like caffeine in a tornado, analyzing the president's decisions as if they were cryptic puzzles left behind in a thrift store drawer. Every twist becomes a new experiment. Karoline tries stepping into the spotlight, only to slip on the storyline. The aftermath is comedy coating every corner.
They also rolled out a mobile McDonald's truck for President Trump's visit, featuring Saudi Arabia's most popular new burger, the McJournalist. The Democratic National Committee protested President Trump's plans to accept a $400 million luxury jet from Qatar by flying a banner over Mar-a-Lago reading Qatar-a-Lago. It's the kind of hilarious stunt that makes you realize why the Democrats will never win again.
The president continues rolling out announcements with the confidence of someone assembling furniture without instructions, and Colin fills the scene with a kind of sarcasm that sticks to the air like glitter. Che adds another layer of mayhem. Together, their roast becomes its own ecosystem. The spectacle grows brighter with every second.
In one of the emails, Epstein's brother asked if Vladimir Putin has a picture of Donald Trump giving oral sex to someone named Bubba, which was an old nickname for Bill Clinton. So I guess that's one job Trump has created. I don't know if that oral sex story is true, but I do know that image is burned in my brain like that scene from The Shining.
Karoline steps forward as if preparing for a theatrical performance, but the outcome looks more like an overzealous infomercial that forgot the product. Colin watches a political choreography with the expression of someone witnessing interpretive dance in a grocery aisle. Che treats it like an amusement park ride that's too funny to shut down. The momentum never drops. From there, the roast expands into a new dimension, stretching into areas far beyond the political arena. Colin dives into the president's endless need to dominate every headline, as if drama were a nutritional requirement. The energy skyrockets, pushing the boundaries of comedic altitude as if testing gravities. Patience. Che fuels a momentum with commentary that vibrates through the screen like mischievous electricity, turning the entire sequence into a satirical landslide. Karoline's attempt at maintaining composure glide into the background like a prop in a magic trick gone wild. The whole situation resembles a stage show where the spotlight refuses to cooperate, flickering between the president's attempt to control and Karoline's quest to appear unwavering. Colin treats each twist as if the universe handed him a new toy to dismantle for fun. His sarcasm hits with the force of a runaway bowling ball sliding through a hallway, knocking down every bit of self-as seriousness. Trying to survive.
Well, guys, it happened. Last night, President Trump posted an AI-generated image of himself as the Pope, apparently ordering a one-way ticket to hell. Who posts a photo of themselves dressed like a guy who died a week ago? Trump was at the Pope's funeral. That means he walked past an open casket and was like, oh, we should do a who wore it best.
Jay elevates the chaos further, pushing each moment into a realm where laughter isn't just expected. It becomes the only logical response. Colin compares the president's decision-making energy to someone confidently assembling a meal with only snack ingredients. Chase shifts the focus toward Karoline's persistent attempts to appear polished, painting her presence as a performance that keeps accidentally switching genres. The two comedians build a satirical universe around the pair, turning every action into fresh material. Che barrels through with energy that turns the entire storyline into a comedic avalanche, snowballing its way toward ridiculousness. Karoline attempts to keep pace, but her stance transforms into a character study of determination, battling chaos, reinforcing the power of perfectly timed comedy.
President Trump, while on his trip, said that Iran has sort of agreed to terms for a nuclear deal in the same way Trump has sort of agreed to uphold the Constitution. Many people in Saudi Arabia were very happy with President Trump's visit to the country because rich Saudis love to fly out thick blondes. President Trump has signed an executive order giving refugee status to white people from South Africa. I could have sworn that white people had it good in South Africa. Must be the Mandela effect.
Momentum drifts into entertainment territory where the president's appearances take on the dramatic flair of an audition tape nobody requested. Colin imagines the scene as a reality show where the stakes keep rising, but the plot refuses to cooperate. Che tosses in comparisons that reframe Karoline's reactions as a mix of surprise and persistence, like someone trying to maintain dignity during a windstorm. The combination of their humor morphs the moment into a full, cinematic breakdown. Through every detail, the roast deepens, reshaping the political moment into a spectacle that spills into fashion commentary, media antics, and even fitness influencer-level exaggeration. The president continues projecting confidence like someone proudly wearing an outfit that doesn't quite match, lifting the roast into a new plane of chaos. Colin pokes at the grandiose flair, treating it like a performance review gone sideways.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two. They're saying that President Trump is trying to create tension between his potential successors, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, mostly by pointing at them and saying, kiss.
Jay expands a moment by acting as if the whole situation is being live-streamed on an invisible channel dedicated to political bloopers. Karoline tries to stay collected, but the trajectory of the roast drags her along like an understudy in a musical who just realized she's on stage. Colin treats the president's theatrical pacing like choreography that missed rehearsal, giving him endless room for sharp jabs. Che counterbalances by pushing the analogy even further, turning Karoline's rapid-fire reactions into a display that belongs in an overproduced reality show. Their combined momentum swirls into a comedic cyclone, demolishing the remaining seriousness around them and replacing it with pure entertainment. While Che treats Karoline's attempt at maintaining calm as if she's walking on a treadmill that keeps speed shifting, the atmosphere becomes thick with humor, turning every action into another opportunity for comedic mayhem.
Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed that if not for Donald Trump seizing fentanyl at the border, 75% of all Americans could be dead. But hey, don't threaten us with a good time. President Trump says he will appoint Fox News host Jeanine Pirro as interim U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C. Pirro celebrated the news with a bottle of wine every day for the last 50 years.
Colin compares the overall tone to a home renovation project led by someone who has no idea what a measuring tape is. Che picks up the metaphor, transforming Karoline's presence into the equivalent of someone holding a flashlight and slowly realizing the project has no blueprint. The synergy turns a scene into a comedy of errors that refuses to slow down. The roast travels deeper into the absurd, gripping onto body language, stage presence, and the strange rhythm of public speeches. A new wave of comedy breaks, and when they explore the president's habit of treating every moment like the dramatic climax of a movie. Colin sees it as a theatrical masterpiece produced entirely by ego.
Well, President Trump traveled to the Middle East this week, and if I were him, I would have just stayed there because it looked awesome. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia where he was greeted with a lavender carpet which matched the color of his tie and also the length. They also rolled out a mobile McDonald's truck for President Trump's visit.
Shay describes the surrounding atmosphere as a soundtrack away from becoming a full-fledged dramedy. Karoline's presence becomes a calm eye in the ridiculous storm. But even her composure gets swept up in Colin and chases relentless comedic pace. Colin frames the president's actions like someone attempting a complicated recipe with ingredients that keep disappearing. Shay dives into Karoline's reactions, turning them into the equivalent of a sports coach trying to pretend everything is going according to plan. This multi-angle chaos expands the roast into a carnival of commentary. The comedic escalation knows no limits as Colin starts likening the president's body language to someone demonstrating a bizarre workout routine they swear improves posture. Che heightens the imagery by painting Karoline as a gym member trapped behind him on the treadmill. Their exaggeration amplifies the absurdity into something approaching a satirical fever dream.
Which is no problem for me because all the movies I watch were filmed in a Florida condo on a leather couch. If you laughed, you're a fan too. President Trump said he was interested in reopening Alcatraz because it represents something horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable and weak, which are also his nicknames for his 5 children.
As the scene evolves, the roast widens into fashion trends, media noise, and even holiday specials. Colin treats the president's outfit choices like a clothing line created during a power outage. Chase seizes a moment, framing Karoline's poise as someone desperately holding together the edges of a rapidly unraveling gift bag. Their creativity transforms ordinary moments into comedic gold. The roast then slides into lifestyle territory, targeting the choreographed stiffness of presidential appearances and the forced enthusiasm of political commentary. Their rhythm becomes unstoppable as they venture into comparisons with survival shows, home shopping channels, and motivational seminars. Colin treats the president's declarations like items being pitched at a midnight sale, while Che reframes Karoline's demeanor like someone clutching a clipboard at a retreat nobody wants to attend. The absurdity multiplies with each new layer.
In a cabinet meeting, President Trump acknowledged that due to his tariffs, this Christmas, children might only get 2 dolls instead of 30 dolls. Which brings me to my new segment, Oh, Hell No.
Oh, hell no!
Oh, boy.
Now, I rarely talk directly to the president, but you listen and you listen good. If I wake up on Christmas morning and I run downstairs to find only 2 dolls under my tree, I will lose my effing mind.
Shay elevates Karoline into a character navigating a plot twist that keeps changing direction. Together, their satire transforms a political moment into a sprawling comedy universe. The roast continues tearing through categories with unstoppable momentum, framing the president's public energy as someone auditioning for every role in an overly dramatic play. Colin explores the exaggeration as if documenting wildlife. Che extends the scene, turning Karoline into the accidental assistant who didn't realize the performance was live. The comedy intensifies, creating a rhythm that shakes off any remaining seriousness. They shift into festival-level parody, treating the president's entrances as parade floats that forgot their themes. Colin imagines the chaos as choreography gone rogue, and Che molds Karoline's reaction into resilience of someone guiding tourists through a theme park after hours. The absurdity expands like a runaway balloon.
Arabia's most popular new burger, the McJournalist.
President Trump, while on his trip, said that Iran has sort of agreed to terms for a nuclear deal in the same way Trump has sort of agreed to uphold the Constitution. Many people in Saudi Arabia were very happy with President Trump's visit to the country because rich Saudis love to fly out thick blondes.
The roast sweeps into entertainment commentary as Colin interprets the president's approach as someone hosting a show that has no script. Che dives into Karoline's attempt at staying polished, transforming them into the intensity of a performer juggling flaming batons while smiling. The scene becomes wildly theatrical. By the time the roast reaches its final swell, the satire spans politics, fashion, fitness, media trends, talent shows, and lifestyle chaos. Colin lights up the moment with analogies that capture the president's showmanship as a blend of misplaced confidence and shimmering bravado. Chase savors a spectacle, turning Karoline's determination into a subplot that refuses to stop spiraling. Everything merges into a comedic crescendo that leaves no dull moment behind. The president's attempt at grandeur continue fueling the spectacle, adding new spark to the flames. As the final wave of comedic destruction unfurls, the entire narrative settles into a glowing heap of satire. The roast lingers in the air like the aftertaste of a joke that hits harder the more you think about it. Colin's sharpness and Che's explosive humor wrap the moment in a comedic force field that refuses to fade.